Hey guys, Nick here from Lyft, and we are going to talk a little bit about your battery, okay? Your battery pack is a sealed 2.1 kilowatt hour battery. It's capable of taking you for about 15 miles at great speeds over the water. So it packs a lot of energy. The battery's awesome, all right? There's a lot of really cool design it went into. It's very mechanically tough. If you saw the inside, you'd be impressed. However, we need to respect this battery pack. We need to respect the amount of energy that's in it, and we need to care for it appropriately. So it's a new industry where everything is going battery powered. We're learning a lot more, but I want to make sure that our Lyft customers, they know what this is and they know how to handle it, and they're treating it with the respect that it deserves. So let's talk about that for a second. One is we have a rugged mechanical housing. Everything is sealed and glued shut, right? But that is not to say that it can't be damaged, and only you would know if that battery pack has received any impact, or if it's not acting appropriately, you know, if it's not running the way that it should be. These are things that we want to pay attention to. So I highly recommend that every so often here, you know, or even every ride, you give a quick inspection to your battery case and make sure that it hasn't been damaged, especially if you're sharing this unit with other people. You don't know the history of it if somebody else has been running it. And so it's your equipment when you're up and running, and you want to do that quick safety check. Let's say that you have damaged your battery. Let's say you dropped it, and it's an expensive battery, and you want to get out in the water, and you want to ride. I get it, I understand, right? So you want to just brush it off and keep going, but you got to be really careful, right? If you feel that you've damaged that battery, in that case, you need to stop running it, and you need to contact us so we can talk about it. We want to make sure that this thing is optimal condition, and if you're having a problem, we're going to help you out. If you find that the pack is not functioning properly in the board, let's say it's shutting down when it's not supposed to shut down, or something's not right, that's a good checkpoint to stop and contact us, and we'll walk you through it, we'll help you out. We want to just make sure that everything is in optimal condition and that it's safe. Let's talk about charging your battery really quick, okay? If a battery has been damaged for some reason, and we continue to ignore any issues or any signs in front of us, and we continue to push that battery, it's going to become more and more and more damaged. It becomes a hazard. And the worst case scenario, we hate to think about it, but the worst case scenario is that this battery could catch fire. And if it did, it would be very scary, because again, there is a lot of energy inside this pack. And that is exactly what we want to avoid. We want to avoid those extremes. We want you to be safe. Now, God forbid if the battery ever did catch fire, it would most likely be in the charging sequence, right? Now it's been damaged. We've continued to run it. We've continued to push it. We've avoided all those indications and signs, and we're going to charge it again. So when charging your battery, let's pick an appropriate place to charge our battery. Let's pick a nice open spot. Let's pick a designated table. Let's pick a designated outlet. This charger produces or lets out 1,200 watts of energy. That's a lot of energy for a household plug. You don't want to share that outlet with other appliances. You want to have your own designated appliance that can handle that amount of energy for the charger, and you want to keep a nice, clean, open space for your battery. Charging it in your living room on the couch is not a place to charge your battery. That is not safe practice. And God forbid if anything ever did happen, it would stop there, and it wouldn't escalate into catching other things on fire. Lastly, let's talk about communication with Lyft. If we send you an email, there's a reason that we sent that email, and we would really appreciate it if you took the time to read it and to respond to any questions and feedback that we're looking for. Also, we have great engineers that are constantly working on the components and the firmware, and when we send you firmware updates, we need your cooperation to upload those firmware updates into your board. Those firmware updates, they improve performance, and there's also safety aspects. So, you know, as we go along and we discover potential issues, we mitigate that with software. And so we need your cooperation to get that firmware into the board and continue to have an excellent experience with your Lyft and be safe.